You're gonna save $10,000 by watching this 10-minute short video. The reason for that is very simple. You probably at least thought about or heard about mentors, gurus, coaches, courses that you can spend money on in this industry to go forward, right? In the OnlyFans management business, there's a bunch of coachings, mentorings, paid groups, paid PDFs, paid courses that coaches don't get tired about throwing in your face and trying to make money off of this. And I'm gonna explain you why every single one of them is a scam. Okay, I don't mean to attack anybody in this sphere. I don't mean to name drop anyone specifically, but I'm gonna explain to you guys why you should not put your money into this. The first point being that information in these is outdated after 2 weeks. I don't know what you know about the OnlyFans management business. Maybe you're already a veteran, maybe you're just starting out. Let me tell you, this business is one of the most fast-paced ones on the planet. After 2 weeks, the entire strategy that you spend your money on, that people show you on how to make money, they're gonna give you the strategy. After 2 weeks, it's outdated. The social media sites patch it. The new update comes out and it's completely unusable. So buying a course off of someone that was recorded 2 years ago, there is no real information in this. This business changes so fast. There's so many updates, so many changes, so many new inventions. The information in these paid coachings, in these paid courses, in these paid groups is outdated, and you shouldn't spend your money on it because you will lose it. It will not work anymore. Information in this industry is very, very fast. You're not getting the information on a day-to-day basis over a long period of time. You will not only lose your money, but you will also lose a shit ton of time, which is worth way more than any money you have spent. Second of all, this is quite a funny thing, but most of these coaches, most of these gurus, if you ask yourself, they have no proof of expertise. Yeah, they may show you a photoshopped or maybe even not photoshopped statement of their OnlyFans accounts that they manage, right? So they say, oh, I'm so successful, I make so much money. Which, on the one hand, you should never, under any circumstances, trust any visual proof of the money itself, okay? Even if it's not fake, it can be his friend's account. It can be from 2 years ago when he made money once and then the last 2 years he was broke, right? It can obviously be photoshopped. It can be like a fake site on the internet. There's literal services for that. So someone showing you his stats or his earnings is worth shit. This is why I don't do it on this channel. I could show you a bunch of shit where it'd be, fuck, this is crazy. But who really believes that? Like, honestly, if I showed you guys my statements and my dashboard, how much money I make, you wouldn't and you should not believe it, because all the coaches reaped, I can't say the word rape, but they basically destroyed the entire system behind it. So these guys that are selling you stuff that you are giving money to, they are no experts in their field. They don't know what they're talking about. They can't build a channel like I can, right? I made a YouTube channel out of being racist and actually knowing what I talk about. I don't have crazy topics that I talk about. I don't have the craziest funnel here. I don't have the craziest editing, but you guys can feel that I know what I'm talking about. I've been around this business for 5 years, which I'm not trying to be better or worse than any other coach. I'm just saying, if you spend money on something, you might as well just want to know that this person knows what they're talking about. Do you want to start boxing and get coached by a hockey player? No, you want the world champion of the world. You want fucking Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather to hop in the boxing ring and teach you. This is what you want. But these guys, they're not experts. They're not making money in this industry. And second of all, if they live a good lifestyle, right? They have some cars, they have some watches. Fair enough, respect, good businessman. I'm not talking bad on that. I'm just saying, is it coming from the OnlyFans or is it coming from selling coachings about OnlyFans? Again, not hating on that. I'm just letting you guys know, just because someone has a nice car and a nice watch, that doesn't mean he knows what he's talking about. That doesn't mean he's the expert. Because guess what? You think that these guys might at least have something to give you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so big. But that's not the case. There's enough idiots who buy it. You know, they don't need to deliver a good product. They don't need to help you. As soon as the money hits their bank account, they can just give you like an outdated video course and a shit group, and they can bounce. You can do nothing about that, because they're gonna tell you you're lazy.
You're broke!
They're gonna tell you if you don't make money, lazy, which is the overall excuse. But they're your coach. It's their responsibility to make you work, to make you successful. If they can't get that, then they shouldn't have started working with you in the first place, right? If they already know you're lazy, why would they get your money if they know you won't succeed? Because this is what they make their money on. They don't make it with OnlyFans. Listen, I've seen the statements, I've seen the earnings of these guys, I've met them. They don't make a fraction of what they say they make. Again, not hating on that. If you make a couple of million with a coaching, fair enough, bro. Fair enough, we all gotta make money. So I'm not hating on them, I'm telling you guys what you shouldn't invest your money on, because you watch this channel to actually get help, to actually get advice, and this is one of them. Third of all, selling information itself is a scam if you think about it. Of course, there's great informational products, but for the prices people ask you for, it's a fucking scam, and I can tell you why. Making basic information sound cool is very fucking easy, right? If I were to tell you, in order to wake up in the morning, you have to get out of bed, take a shower, and eat scrambled eggs. That's basic information, everybody knows that. But if I put it like, listen, with my routine, you will get out of bed faster than ever. There's a very special showering routine that you need to make sure there's some water temperature stuff that increases your performance. Also with the breakfast, there's like, based on your body fat, like how many eggs you should eat. Now I made it sound like fucking rocket science. Bro, you have to get out of bed, shower, and eat scrambled eggs. Every idiot does that. My little cousin does that, right? So making information sound cool, everybody can do that. That's just basic sales. But giving you actual valuable information that may even sound boring and applying it together. This is what an actual mentoring is. This is what boxing coaches do as well. Actual coaches, they tell you what to do, they help you do it, they correct your form until you're perfect at doing that. That's what coaching is. What you spend money on in this OFM scene, that's not coaching, brother. That's you give them money and they make you feel not too bad about it, all right? That's not a business model. So selling information itself doesn't work, okay? I can give you all the information. A, you probably won't understand it, and B, it's just not relevant to you if I don't know your specifics. If I tell you how to do IG Reels, but your model is black, now we have to have complete new methods, okay? So information itself is too broad and too basic anyway if you sell it. Like the information has to get transferred, but also has to be applied together and tailored together. Otherwise, it's a fucking scam. Next up, and this is for you guys who already invested money in something like this, you will 100% feel this point, because all the coaches in this industry, they are not hungry for your success. They're not dedicated, they're not fired up about the whole thing, because they're not successful themselves with this industry. They're actually happy if it happens, because like, oh, like what? My advice helped you? What? I mean, yeah, cool. You know, they're surprised themselves. They don't expect it. They don't want you to expect it. They just want to give you excuses why it didn't work. So if you want an actual coach, you need someone that's fired up about the whole thing. He needs to be an actual coach, boxing coach, a fucking, in other industries, an actual coach. He needs to be more hyped about your success than you are yourself, because this is what coaches want. If you're actually good at something, if you're the best at something, and if you like to coach people, this should fulfill you. This should be at least fun. Yeah, you don't have to jerk off about it. You don't have to be you don't have to be this philanthropist who's like, oh, I just like helping people. Nobody does. Even I don't. I don't like that. I like being the best at something because I have an ego, okay? This is why I do these videos, because A, my reputation grows, and I make money off of it passively, and also I just like to be the best at something. I'd like to crush the YouTube game, you know? This is why I do it, if you ever ask yourself. So if your coach isn't fueled up, isn't hyped up about your entire process, which none of them are, it's a scam, because he doesn't believe it works himself. And if that wouldn't make it worse enough, these guys are not good teachers themselves. This is why it's such a scam, because like I already told you, their job is to teach you and to coach you, not just to basically drop some information up and then bounce, you know? That's not their job. They should teach you, they have to be a coach, but none of them know how to coach. I mean, the only reason you're watching this, I mean, I insult you guys, I call you racial slurs, I make fun of literally everything. I'm not trying to be arrogant, but obviously I'm a bit abrasive here, but you still watch it. I think the only reason might be because you actually kind of understand what I'm talking about, right? So obviously this ability to make people understand where you're coming from and get them to apply it and get them to understand it is a skill itself. And I've learned this through my kickboxing days, right, of like 5 or 6 years in the combat sports world with different coaches, different trainers, and learning what they actually do to get you to a spot where you want to be in a short amount of time, but also through all the business coachings I bought myself. Not an OFM, I'm not a nerd, but when it comes to sales, when it comes to overall business, mentorships, right, I've bought all this shit, because you can always learn more. Even I buy this shit, but this is what I learned, right? Half these guys, they don't know how to coach. They sell you a video course, yeah, okay, cool, fine. But the actual good ones who bring results, they know how to train. They know how to educate and how to basically guide you to the point where you want to be, how to be a mentor, which is the how you expect a mentoring to be. But I guess you would be wrong in this industry. So the people that you're spending money on or you want to spend money on, they're all scammers. Most likely you're not going to do progress. And this is kind of the fallacy behind the whole thing. Because if you don't do progress, you're lazy. But if you do progress, because you probably would have done it alone anyway, if your model is hot and she has 1 million subscribers, and now you make 100 grand, now it's all their success. Hey, I joined this coaching and I made 100 grand. Yeah, but also, if you wouldn't have joined it, you probably would have made 100K as well. The information is free. Look at my channel. I don't mean to be arrogant in any way, but look at my channel and tell me this isn't more information about the entire business than any single mentoring, any single coaching on the planet, right? And it's for fucking free. You don't need to spend a single cent. The only thing you need to do is leave a like and subscribe, rate my CTA here. Now, but on a real note, this is exactly what I mean about that. I can do the shit for free and it's still 5% of my knowledge because I know what I'm talking about. There's other positive examples. Take Lukas Böse, take BTZ, if you guys know their names. They actually know what they're talking about. This is why they can give away so much free knowledge, because this is like a fraction. You know what I mean? I'm not hurting my business, but the reason all these coaches are so stingy about giving you free information and if you want to know, then you have to buy my course, because this is all they know. Isn't that weird? Isn't that gay? And this is why I'm saying stay away from all of these mentorings. And this, by the way, now we're coming to the most important part. This is coming from me. I even recently opened up my own mentorship, and I'm still saying that you should stay away from all of them. Okay? In fact, my doors are even closed right now because personally, I don't have the time to fucking let 200 people in. I'd rather make like 10, 15 people millions than to make 50 or 100 people a couple of $1,000s a month, right? Because like I said, I want to be the best at something and I want to completely crush it. I want to stick it in all of these mentor coaching scene, whatever is left of it, right? So I don't even want to accept people right now. This is not a sales pitch. This is not a sales argument. I fully stand behind it and I mean it. So the only thing you can do, if you trust me and my brand, if you think, all right, this guy might actually help me, even after what I've said, this is the only people I want to work with who heard me bash coachings all the time and still trust me enough to join the whole thing. The only thing you can do is text me at my Telegram at Oliver Smoley and join the waiting list, because if I decide to open the doors again, maybe in a couple weeks, maybe in a couple months, maybe by the end of the year even, then you're the first applicant to be accepted in and you can actually do the process that was promised to you. Okay? And this should be proof enough of how much I stand behind the things I do. Rather it be my own YouTube, my free 12,000 member Telegram community that I run for free, that you can join, my free ebooks that I have, all the free information, all the shit, and even the mentoring. I do a whole video bashing everything about the coaching scene, and I still have the balls to pitch my own because I stand behind it and I know what I offer. So right now everything's closed, but I'd love to see some of you guys on the waiting list because I think there's a lot of progress to be made. So with that being said and out the way, I wish all of you a great day. Stay away from scammers. They are all scammers. And I wish you a wonderful day. Bye-bye.